I pray to the divinity in you. I am going to explain to you the deeper meaning of meditation. I am going to tell you why do you not meditate, what problems do you have, why do you create a barrier for yourself, though you have been pretending to meditate for many, many years, yet you do not meditate. This meditation helps you in cheating your spouse, that's okay, but at the same time you are cheating yourself. So I am going to explain when the opportunity comes. The invocation says, Om that is full. Again I will repeat and go fast. That word is used for the Brahman, the supreme reality, the absolute truth. As I told you the definition of truth yesterday, truth that which is self-existent, that which was never born will never die, that which never needs any support from any other quarter is called truth. That supreme reality is full. And it is full in all conditions. Then this, the word that is used for Brahman here, and this is used for the universe. This universe of ours is also full, because it has come out of the full. It has come out of the perfect. Anything that comes out of the perfect, it should be perfect. But if something comes out of it, does it lose something? No, it still remains perfect, full. This fullness has been produced from the same fullness, and when this fullness merges into that fullness, all that remains is fullness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why Shanti words has been repeated 3 times here? Why not once? Peace. Why should it be repeated on 3? You need peace on 3 dimensions. Peace in your home, peace with others. When will you have peace at home? When will you learn to adjust? When will you learn to understand the goal of life as far as family members are concerned? Is contentment. And for attaining that contentment, you need to adjust. For a family should be content, for it is a ground from where radiates love and peace. It's your duty to see that there is peace. Every member in the family should know it. What do you mean by peace? Where is that peace found? Peace is a gap between 2 wars. Yes. Peace is a space between 2 conflicts. Peace is a short span of time between misunderstanding between 2 people. It means 2 people should learn to relate, understand each other. in a way so that there is no conflict in the family. Don't project your conflicts, family conflicts, don't project your individual conflicts in the family. What the parents do? Parents project their individual conflicts, frustration on the children. If not on the children, then on the spouse. If not on the spouse, then on the pets. You are angry, you cannot beat up your wife. So what do? Take out your belt and beat up your dog. Because there is anger within you. What is that anger? When you analyze anger, you come to know that unsatisfied desire makes you frustrated. And when you are frustrated, you get angry. So remember, to have such a desire which makes you frustrated is not healthy for you. Not at all healthy for you. It's not good for your mental health. And if your mental health is not good, what good is this body? Your body, though a wonderful instrument, should have a sound mind, and a sound mind should have a healthy body. So, idam sarvam, all this, nothing is left, all this whatsoever, Ishavashyam, is covered by the Lord, the governor, the controller of our life and the universe, is called the Lord, Lord of life. Who is the proprietor of all these bodies? Only one Lord, absolute Lord, absolute self. It has various names. We call self of self. We call it universal self. We call it, there are degrees that we have to learn to explain. I told you yesterday the Upanishads talk of Brahmans. One is called Brahmans with attributes. Oh Lord is great, and oh Lord is wonderful, oh Lord is beautiful. These attributes, where we use attributes for the Lord, then he becomes Lord with attributes. But actually, Lord is beyond all attributes. Brahman without attributes. A human being needs a personal God. If you come to know that God does not listen to you, does not listen to your prayer, does not understand you, you will never remember him. You will be not benefited. You will not improve. Nothing will be done. So God, with full of attributes, God is great, God is kind, God is merciful, with all the attributes, that Brahman, that Brihad Atma, Sarvyapi Atma, omnipresent, that unmanifested Atman, Paramatman, with its power Maya, projects this world. And this projection, for a scientist, it is matter. For a weak, it is evil. For a sage, it's God. It depends how you think. How much do you understand? For a seer, this is all Brahman, because full has come out of the full. Why and from where this imperfect world has come? This is imperfect because we see it that way. Our minds are imperfect. Now, we will try to understand something that's called knowledge. How to have profound knowledge of the omniscient, of the formless, nameless Brahman. Our minds are in habit of running to the external world with the help of the senses. Mind has employed the senses. There are 10 indriyas, 5 gross and 5 subtle. They are employed by our minds. And the moment we wake up, senses start functioning. So mind is in habit of running to the external world. Sense perception is very limited. Sense knowledge is limited because senses do not give us the picture of the whole. You cannot see things as they are. You are seeing things with limitations. In the external world, though everything is fastly fleeting, changing, it's ever changing. That's also reality. But there is another reality that is never changing, everlasting. Now we have to adjust ourselves with these two realities. Ever-changing reality in the external world and everlasting reality within. You have to know the technique, how to live in the external world, which is changing all the time. So for the mind, it's difficult to collect data from the external world because it is ever-changing. And senses are limited. The experience that you have gained through senses, or your mind gains, such an experience is not considered to be valid because it does not furnish right data. There is another problem. That another problem is mind is clouded. Mind has no clarity. It has no one-pointedness. It has no concentration. It is dissipated. So, it commits mistake in collecting data. Therefore, you need to train your mind and senses. Mind should be trained to be one-pointed, to be sharp. And when we talk of mind, mind means what? A catalogue of desires only, a catalogue of thoughts only, a bundle of emotions only? No. We should learn to understand our antaha karana. Antaha means inner, karana means limbs. As you have limbs outside and you function with the help of your limbs, you have something within you and it has limbs. And that's your mind. It has many, many modifications. So you have to understand mind and its modifications systematically so that you know which modification, which part of mind is untrained and does not help you. When your manas functions, there is a part in you which whenever you want to do something, it says, shall I do it or not? Now, many of you cannot take decisions. Do you know why? Because you have not trained your buddhi. That higher faculty which tells you, do it. If you do it, this will happen. If you don't do it, this will not happen. So many of you do not train that. That's why you lack decisiveness. You lack judgment. You lack discrimination. You have to do something, you do something different. You do not do it with full concentration. You do not do it with full willpower. And you suffer the consequences. You do not receive the fruits desired therein. So you have to understand various faculties of your mind, modifications of your mind. That's why Patanjali, the codifier of yoga science, says, if you want to establish yourself in your essential nature, which is the prime goal of human life, your essential nature, not the nature of your mind, not the nature of your senses, not the nature of the external world, but your own essential nature, then you will have to understand the way of inner life. You will have to be insider a bit because you have become outsider and you are so much scattered that all the time you are torn, you don't understand what for you have come to this earth, what is the goal of life, how should you relate with others. All confusion arises when you forget that this only one real power, that absolute power, is everywhere. Then it's not possible for you to hate others, to harm others, to hurt others. In English, there is no word that explains love. Love in practicality means what? What have you to do to be a good lover? How can you love your spouse, your wife, your children, your friends, your neighbors, your country, your nation, and humanity at large? There is no such word, there is no such formula. Yoga science says that is called ahimsa. Aha means no. Hinsa means injuring, killing, harming, and hurting. Whomever you love, remember you have to have these no's, 4 no's. No harming, no hurting, no injuring, no killing. No matter what happens. You want everything according to your own convenience and you get angry. You don't accept others as they are, because you don't see them as they are. You only see yourself because you have been feeding your ego all the time. That's why sometimes you hurt your loved one. Don't do that. Learn to love by practicing ahimsa. The Upanishad says, you have to see. If you want to be happy, if you want to enjoy this world, which you want. A fool wants to enjoy this world by grabbing things of the world. He does not find capacity to do it. He has a desire to enjoy, he has motivation, but he does not have instrumentation. He has no Shakti, he has no strength. He doesn't enjoy. When he enjoys, he finds that next day, or after a few days, or few months, or few years, that object changes. The object of enjoyment vanishes. His love changes. All his promises take off. Wonderful marriage and family structure falls apart. You see, because object of enjoyment changes. Sense enjoyment is not the only enjoyment. And suppose you want to enjoy, and sense enjoyment, you give importance to sense enjoyment. Do you have strength to enjoy the objects of the world? You have no clarity of mind, you have no inner strength, you do not understand the objects of the world. How can you enjoy them? So that desire for enjoyment remains lurking all the time in the bed of your heart and mind, and you don't enjoy. Whole life goes on. You repeatedly do same thing just to satisfy your thirst for enjoyment, but nothing happens. So, O man, remember first. O human being, remember. Idam sarvam jagatyam jagat Ishopanishad. God, that absolute truth alone exists. That same absolute truth has become many. So, Nirguna Brahma, without attribute, has come out, projected itself with its power, with full of attributes, and you say, God, you are kind, He is. God, you are great, He is. So when you remember Him all the time, be aware of that reality, then alone you can enjoy, then you have strength within. You are searching for something which is not there. You are searching strength in the external world. External world will give you momentary strength. Strength lies within you. So let you remember. Do you depend on the strength that you find outside you, or do you depend the strength on the strength that is within, which comes within you, from within? Which strength you rely upon? You need strength from within. What is within you? Who else can be within you? Who has power to exist within you except the Lord of life? Ishvara, Lord. So when you are aware of that reality, you get strength. The source of strength is within you. Why are you weak? For a weak, this world is miserable, full of miseries. For a strong, every object of the world can be enjoyed. That's why it is said somewhere, Veera Bhogya Basundara. Who enjoys this world? Not the weak. When he is strong, can enjoy this world. Not the weak one. So learn to be strong, but that strength should not be from the external objects. That strength should be from within. And that the source of strength is Idam sarvam Ishopanishad. All this is covered by the Lord. Okay. Now, yesterday I explained to you, you should learn to enjoy the world by understanding, by following the philosophy of non-attachment. But there is another meaning of this great mantra. There are many meanings. A good speaker can speak only on this for a month and will not repeat a word. Yes. We don't want to waste that much time. But I want to give you another viewpoint. All this, whatever exists in the universe, should be covered by the Lord. Idam sarvam ishavashyam. Protect the self. As the Bible says, save yourself. The Upanishad says, protect the self. Now, how can you protect yourself? Because self is the Lord. Here the word self, protect yourself, means, oh human being, you have certain purpose in life. Will you please protect yourself so that you complete the purpose of life? What is your best friend in the world? Who is your best friend? You lie that it's your wife, it's your son, it's your children. No. Your best friend is your body. You'll accept that. All the time you look after your body, whatever you do for your body. You love your child because he is your bodily child. You love your friend because he is your bodily friend. So for you, body is the greatest of all friends. And I agree. But do you ever examine that this friend of yours is very meek, weak, fragile, and goes to change, death and decay? No one lived on earth forever. Do not believe that there is any immortal body on the earth. It goes to decay. It's the dharma of the body. To die, to change, to go to decomposition. Is it not dangerous for you to be friendly, so deeply in love with something that is so weak, that never helps you at the time of distress? That which is not Chaitana, it's a matter. Your body is matter. Now you trust the matter and not the source of intelligence that motivates you to think, that motivates you to hear, that motivates you to understand, that motivates you to speak. All the intelligence, source of intelligence, you are ignoring that, and you are loving this physical body so much that body is everything for you. Whole day and night. Body, body, my body, my body. You always use one word, I. Whole day you use this word, the word that is used most in this world by all of you is I. And that I is not actually I. It's you are using it for body. There is one moment that comes in your lifetime, every day. During sleep, how peaceful it is when there are no contents of mind, when you are not dreaming and you are not awake, when you are in deep sleep. You do not worry for your bank balance, for your boss, for your spouse, for your lovers or anyone. You don't. That peace which is given by deep sleep is a glimpse that there is something ahead. And that is called Turiya. In Turiya you derive happiness consciously. Today you are happy because you have a body and you move and you seem to be healthy. You have many friends, you have all the things in the world. But when you attain Turiya, whole universe is in you and you are in the universe. Those limitations which you find, which an individual finds today, are gone. Upanishads give Satyasa Satyam, truth of truths. And that truth is, man do not learn to lean on the matter which is ever changing, but learn to lean on the Brahman, on the inner resources. Why am I using the word inner again and again? When outside is also the projection of inner. Because anything that happens in the external world has happened long before in the inner world. You see a big tree. That tree has grown from little seed inside, and then it has become a big tree. External world is subject to change, but not the inner world. For inner dweller is there who doesn't change. You will say, how? How does it? You can every day see. In Upanishad, there is a simile. The Upanishad which we are going to teach you next. I am thinking that we can, in 2-3 years' time, we can complete all 108 Upanishads. Yeah. If we systematically follow, It's a wonderful thing. You have heard the name of Ishopanishad, one of the great thinkers, Max Muller, Edward, many modern and ancient Western thinkers. How did they come in touch with the Upanishads? One of the Middle Eastern, Al-Bruni, traveled to India, and there he heard about the Upanishad, that great sages teach something which is not understood by everybody, which is not taught to everyone. He took Upanishadic knowledge, translated in Arabic, then Arabic language, that translation was translated into Latin, and then to other languages like German, French, and English. Even there is one Upanishad that was translated and caught bit by bit from different Upanishads, that is called Allah Upanishad. Upanishadic wisdom is unchallenged. It does not belong to Hindus, it does not belong to Brahmins, it does not belong to the kings mentioned in the Upanishads. Then who are they? Brahmins were only custodians. A custodian is not a proprietor. The moment custodian thinks that he is proprietor, he is gone. Why are you miserable today? Why we human beings are miserable? Because all that we have are the gifts of the Lord. We are custodian. But we forget that truth. When we forget this truth, then we start possessing things. I am the master, I am the owner, I possess all this. And that lands us into problem, whirlpool. And we cannot come out of this whirlpool, and it has become our culture and tradition, and we can never forget it. House is mine, and this is mine, and that is mine, and mine and thine has made us victim. For the sake of communication, you can use them. But reality, you should say, all the things of the world belong to the Lord of life. And they are given to me. I will enjoy them. for they are gifts of God. Now, for learning to enjoy anything external or internal, I told you, you need strength, and that strength should be from within. Here comes a little bit discipline. Renunciation. In the fourth stage of life, first 25 years, when you have learned Vidya, you have learned the ways of living in the world, you are prepared to get into Grastha, householder's life. And when you have understood householder's life, then your children are grown up, you and your wife say, now children are grown up, let us brood on the vital issues of life, the purpose of life. Let's go to the forest dwellings. Now, in the forest, there is something remarkable, I tell you here. In the forest dwellings, you do not have things to perform yajna, to do the rites and rituals. So you worship mentally. So remember, there are two types of worship. Worship that is performed in the external world, and worship that is performed mentally. Upanishads talk about mental worship, because these Upanishads are product, are revelations from those sages who lived in forest dwellings. Whom did they teach? Those sannyasins who happily left the world and lived in the forest dwellings. Such prepared students were taught by the competent teacher, great sages, these great Upanishads. That's why they are called secret texts. Secret teaching, secret import. See, what are you talking of enjoyment? We have seen and examined the enjoyment in the world, all the enjoyments of the world are momentary. You want those enjoyments to remain forever and ever, to live forever and ever, to ever last. But nothing happens. Not a single enjoyment of the world is everlasting. Everyone has been repeating the same thing. You've been making experiment every day, you cannot live without it. But you could not get enough out of it. So you know there is something in enjoyment, but you don't have permanent enjoyment. You want to enjoy things permanently. And things do not have capacity to give you permanence. So everlasting enjoyment is not possible, you see. You cannot have everlasting enjoyment from the external world. No object of the world has capacity to give you enjoyment. Therefore, you turn within. You turn within, and in the forest dwellings you do not have anything. They have seen whatever they wanted, they have. So finally they found out renunciation. Those great sannyasins, great sages, renounced, and thus them they enjoyed. Actual enjoyment came after renunciation. So there are two meanings. But this is meant for the sannyasins, the second meaning. Still I will persist the first meaning, Because lust not after any man's wealth. In the world, there is one temptation. When you look at others, how others live, how they wear, what type of homes they have, what type of cars they have, what type of things they have, people have lust for the positions of others. Such can do not lust for someone's wealth. Do not be tempted by the wealth if someone has. You see, do not try to have that. Do not be tempted. It's a waste of time. Why? This will go on corrupting you. It will corrupt the human society. The human society has been corrupted because of this temptation. Someone has the wealth and you want to have. So do not lust. Lust not for someone's wealth. You see. Why? This is the source of corruption. How your children learn corruption? They learn from you. They see something. They see. Children do not learn through education as you impart in the colleges and universities. They watch you. They watch. They see the example. Exemplary education is the basic education that they receive, which you never impart, because you are example for them. You see. You corrupt them because you are corrupt. You see. Our parents are corrupt, that's why we are corrupt. Our environment is full of corruption, our education is full of corruption. So we go on educating our children in the field of corruption, and there is no improvement in society. So, because lust not after any man's wealth, for it corrupts. Not only you. It corrupts you, it corrupts the person who owns that. It corrupts all. And then the purpose of life is defeated. Now, then how to live? What is the way of living? Here it says, if a man wants to live 100 years on this earth, he should live performing actions. For you who cherish such a desire and regard yourself as a man, there is no other way by which you can keep work from clinging to you. Beautiful. Now, world is not so horrible. See? So do not talk about life hereafter. Oh, what a wonderful thing. All promises of life hereafter are secondary. World is beautiful. Even a person who is dying in deathbed does not want to die because world is beautiful. He wants to live. She wants to live. No one wants to die because there is plenty to enjoy. So world is wonderful. So do not be disappointed with the world. And then finally you get disappointed with yourself. No, do not do that too. Then you start beating your head. Why am I doing this? When your wife makes you aware of your faulty habits, habit patterns. And when you are calm and you understand, no, she is right, what she is saying. Man's ego does not want to listen to the woman. You see. But in Vedic period, there have been women. Once, what happened? There was one great king called Janaka. He had wonderful powers. Complete control, self-controlled person. King Janaka. A woman comes and sits quietly and wanted to know his state of mind. He understood. He said, you corrupt woman, You bad woman, without my permission, you are getting into my inner self, trying to find out my state of mind. She got up and smilingly said, I feel sad for you. Still you think your mind broods on corruptions? Oh, I feel so sad for you. Suddenly Janaka realized his mistake and accepted her as his teacher. Her name was Sulva. So let me tell you something. Man does not have sixth sense, but woman has. I am not being partial, I am telling you truthfully. Your ego will not accept it, but what I am telling you is truth. If you cannot know your friend, ask your wife and she will tell you. And she will exactly tell you. If you commit mistake in understanding anyone, call him for dinner and let your wife observe and she will tell you what type of person is he. There is something in woman that man does not have. But there is something in man too. And there should be understanding. Though the women have been exploited so much, that time has come when world should be aware of this fact, that woman needs reverence and not vulgar exposures, should not be used for publicity purposes only, should not be used for vulgarity. She deserves reverence, for she is the mother of man. You see. The day we realize this, perhaps there will be transformation in our society. So, if a human being wants to live for 100 years on this earth, why 100 years? One becomes complete when it is 100. What 100 does? I told you, 100 does not make 111. This is 111. One is always one in the end. That one was full in the beginning is full in the end. Between 1 and 1 is projection of the 1. So it has 2 zeros. 0 has got a great value if it is put at the right place. Yeah. If 0 is put here and go to the bank with the checkbook, your bank will give you only $1. Same 0 you put here, this side, the bank will give you $1,000. A 0 has some meaning. You see. 100 years. You should not desire, but aspire to live for 100 years. Let you learn the difference between desire and aspiring. Why do you want to live for 100 years? The ancients say, at least your lifespan is 100 years. You see. If your body is healthy and if your mind is healthy, and if you understand how to lead healthy life, which the Upanishads say, then you should aspire to live for 100 years. Because this world is beautiful, don't condemn it. Don't say it's a wretched world. It's a bad world. Don't condemn yourself that you are good for nothing, you cannot do anything. Don't be lazy, for learn to understand inertia and laziness is greatest of all sins that hampers your progress, that creates barriers for you. Here man does not meet men. Otherwise, all the widows will be in the world if you literally understand the word man. Woman dies earlier and only man lives for 100 years. What good is that life? Man does not mean man. If one aspires to live 100 years, on this earth, how can he live? What is the way of living? Many of you like to retire. Yes. So one day I told my master, I said, at what age shall I retire? He said, I have never heard retirement from meditation. Stupid? Don't ask me again such a foolish question. Hey, there is no retirement for you. When do you feel like retiring? When you are tired. When you understand whatever you are doing, you cannot continue doing that again and again. Then you feel you want to be retired. You want to give up that job. You want to be free. It means you know in the heart of hearts that whatever you have been doing is not permanent. That's why you want to retire. Retirement means what? Learning to enjoy freedom. It means you are in the bondage. Whatever you have been doing against your wish. So I am asked not to retire because whatever I am not doing against my wish. This is my job. That's what my life is. And that's what I enjoy. So if you want to learn to live, if you aspire to live for 100 years, you should not stop thinking that you are old. You are good for nothing. Don't do that. I want to introduce you the best of physicians in the world today, right now. I know you will not believe, but I am telling you that cheerfulness is the greatest of all physicians. Remember this. Now, what the physician does? He gives you a prescription. What is the prescription that physician cheerfulness gives you? Punctuality and regularity are two medicines that physician gives you. If you make yourself punctual and regular in your habits, waking in the morning before sun rises, finishing your ablutions, morning ablutions, then going out for walk, doing your breathing exercises and movements according to your comfortable capacity. Don't be overtired or don't be lazy. Then come home and sit in meditation. For meditation is the greatest of all joys. Why? Because all joys proceed from the silence. And meditation leads you to silence. And silence is within you. When your mind is calm, when there is no conflict, when mind is undisturbed, that state of mind is considered to be the finest state. Consciously, you should learn that to create that state of mind for yourself. You see, it's nothing religious. It's nothing Eastern or Western. It is a necessity for modern mind, for human being. Learning to understand his own mind, learning to calm down, learning to have a state of equilibrium, tranquility. And that tranquility and equilibrium will come only when you learn to calm, practicing to calm down. 24 hours you lead your mind to the external world, to the world of objects, and then you say, I cannot do meditation. No one will do. No one can do. You will have to practice. You will have to form the habit. Habit is a strong motivation in your life. That habit will create a deep groove in your inner mind and it will help you. So say that you don't get anything, that's not true. Don't talk of retirement from meditation, breathing, good food, habits, nutritious habits, diet. Don't talk of retirement from that. Yes, retirement from the jobs that you have been doing under stress and conflict. All the stress comes because you want to do something, you cannot do it, and you are doing something which you do not want to do. That's why stress comes. Your mind knows and you know that you don't like to do it. Many times you say, you tell your wife, I don't want to go to office. She said, but then your boss will fire you. Okay, I go. She wants you at home and you want to be at home, but you cannot be. You are under the pressure. So economy is controlling human life these days. You see. But if you want to live for 100 years on this earth, you should live performing your actions. You are also performing your action when you go to the job. That is also action. Here performing the action means learning to love your duties. Anything you do, you should learn to love it. And then you do it. Don't do anything which you do not love. If you do not love something, don't do it. Any duty of yours should be loved by you. Don't do anything. Once a couple came to me for counseling. The problem was, both wife and husband were so much pressurized by the external world that they did not have any family life. They loved each other. But their love becomes passive. You know what happens? You say that love is great, I also say. But love can become passive and love can die. And dead love is deadlier than living being. Worst thing. Don't allow your living love to die by making it passive. Your love should be active. Your love should generate happiness within you, and that happiness should be radiated to others. Don't allow external pressures to injure your emotions, your inner self. So, go on performing your duties with love. Duties create a sense of nuisance and bondage. Your husband telephones, why are you shopping all the time? You talk, and from shopping center you are telephoning, you are late, and you come home. She said, why? I don't want to come home. Because you are my wife. The wife says, you come home because you are my husband. You have to come home because you are somebody's wife and you are somebody's husband. And suppose you are not, you will not go home. This is called compulsion. You do things under pressure all the time because I am somebody's wife, so I cannot smile with anybody. Because you're somebody's husband, I cannot look at on anyone. What restrictions are these? You are doing your duty under pressure with false pretense. You are dishonest to yourself. Slowly this dishonesty grows inside and finally leads you to become a great dishonest person. Don't do that. It's good to be honest to your people. To be very honest. Sometimes you are very honest, that honesty also injures. You are not allowed to do that. The scripture says, Satyam bruyat priyam bruyat na bruyat satyam apriyam. Speak truth. But that truth should be greased with love. Yoga science says, Ahimsa satya striyam. First, ahimsa means love. Learning to express your love first. You should be truthful, but that truthfulness should be loving. When you are truthful to your people, you should be loving also. So let you learn to understand the wonderful wedding of truth with love. If truth is not wedded with love, that truth is not acceptable in society. Suppose something happened, I am limping, and someone says, you lame man, come over here. It's truth. Will you like that truth? No. Suppose something happens to my eye. You say, you blind man, come here. One-eyed man, come over here. Will you like it? Though it's truth. So truth should be pleasant. When you are talking and you are trying to be honest and truthful, you should see it should be greased with love. There should be love in every phase of your life. Now, from where that love will come? The fountain of love is within you. That's called Isha, the Lord of life, inner dweller. If you are not aware of that, you can never love. You can never grease your actions and duties with love. So, human being, when you perform your duties, the duties make you sick. Create a bondage for you. You see. That rules will create bondage for you. Always you resent. You don't want to do. You don't want to accept authority of somebody you are married. One day you loved him, you were very happy. Suddenly the contract was signed. You see. And love vanished and contract existed. And still you are posing to love each other. And you both know inside that there is no love, but there is sense of duty. That sense of duty creates bondage for you. Is there any way how to be free from that bondage? Because you cannot live without doing actions, your duties. Not possible. As a human being, you have to do some duties. If you are working actively, if you are retired, even then you have to do something. Anything that you do, any action you do, becomes a duty. Here the Upanishadic sages says, you have to do your duty. If you aspire to live for a long life, if you want to live in the world, do your duty. Don't aspire to live without doing your duty. Don't do that. Life will be vacant, life will be empty, life will be hell. What is the way when you cannot live without doing your duties? And duty creates boredom. You see. Duty creates problems for you. It's a sort of whirlpool for you. How will you do your duties? You will have to learn to create love for you. It means love is your own product, not duty. Duty is helplessness. There is difference here. You are helpless because as a human being, you have to do something. You cannot live without doing actions. This is called helplessness. As a human being, you will have to do some actions. And when you start doing some actions, you reap the fruits of the actions. And those fruits of the action motivate you to do more actions. And this goes on. And this makes a snare, a net, and you are caught in it. It makes a whirlpool, and you are in it. You cannot come out of it. And you always say, but I have to do my duty. Those who are conscious are very strict and say, I have to do my duty. There is something where you are not helpless. When you love somebody, you are not helpless. That's your product. It's your right. Deep down within you, there is a fountain of life and light, love. If you grease your actions with that love, then the duty will not create problems for you. So learn to do your duties with love. O man, O human being, if you aspire to live for 100 years, which you should, because you want to enjoy, you want to examine the quality of enjoyment. You have seen that in the external world, objects of the world change, decay and die. There is no enjoyment in it. And yet the feeling of enjoyment and the thought of enjoyment, desire for enjoyment is still there. You want to fulfill that desire. So you are searching the object. But there is something. It's called enjoyment without object. When you learn that method of meditation, which is called meditation without object, you always ask your teacher, what should be the focal point for my mind? Teacher gets disgusted. After many years teaching, still he is talking of the focal point. Mind always wants to lean on something, on the objects. One of the qualities of mind, one of the gunas of mind, is to lean on something. You'll not find mind ever free. Never. Perhaps even during sleep, you are not aware, mind still functions. Yes, a part of mind still functions. When you are in deep sleep, just touch somebody like this, that part of mind goes there. You see. Mind always learns to lean on something, some objects. You will have to learn to withdraw the mind from all this habit, leaning on the objects. At least make mind independent. What independence have you attained? Material independence? Not enough. Independence of speech? Not enough. Independence of mind is very important. But that will not come because it's not in the inherent nature of the mind. So you will have to rely on the source within you, that Lord within you, Lord, fountainhead of life and light and love. When you grease all your actions with the love that is within you. Greasing means with mind, action and speech. Love in mind, love in speech, love through actions. When will it come? Not that you put down people, say, world is inferior and I am superior and I have known the wisdom and I love everybody. No. This is not the way of. If anybody becomes that egotistical, he does not love. He is doomed. That ego cult does not help. When say, idam sarvam isha vashyam, Lord exists everywhere in everyone. in me, in you, and everything. Who am I to hate you? I am hating myself if I hate you. I love you, I love myself, because that's my nature. So when a human being aspires to live 100 years, to love all and exclude none, that is the right way. I have not loved you enough. I have not served you enough. I have not done enough for you. I want to do more and more and more for you selflessly. Then even you aspire to live for 100 years, your life is fruitful. Your life is great. Na karma lipyate nare. This last word is very important here. The duties or the actions do not bind you then. When? Performing actions for you who cherish such a desire and regard yourself as a man, there is no other way by which you can keep work from clinging to you. Now, you have to analyze one thing. A human being cannot live without doing actions. He is helpless here. Karma. He has to perform the karma. And the quality of karma is, there is one thing bad in karma, karma clings to you. And you become victim. How karma? Which part of karma? The fruit therein you receive. They motivate you to do and you go on doing it. In Hindi it is called Kolu ka bail. You go on working day and night, endlessly, for you don't have any choice. A time comes when you become victim and then you lose that choice incentive. But no, you have all the powers within you. You should tap the rare source within you. How can you get freedom from the bondage of karma? The same, go back to the source. The Lord of life, the Lord of love is within you. Remember Him and go on functioning doing your duties. If you aspire to live for 100 years, you should. If you want to enjoy, you should. But you cannot enjoy unless you remember the Lord of love. Make your life comfortable. Tomorrow, I am going to talk to you something about how it is possible for a human being to live for such a long time. What are the rules, regulations, comforts? What comfort is that? Cheerfulness, how to, something about holistic approach towards life and health. Think. I take your leave. God bless you. Peace, peace, peace.